Hey guys, sometimes I do an impromptu video, and this one I want to make sure that I'm caught up on my understanding of expenses and income. So I just want to show you, this is my binder, and this is the beginning of January. So this is the back side of my binder. So the very first month I have, this is what it looks like. This is what I have done in my business so far. Okay, so I'm just going to go through a couple things. At the end of the month, I print this out. This is my statement. You can find this in your area where you pay your bill. So if you look at your account balance, you will see where you can choose the ranges, and you can, like, here's my start date and my end date. So this goes from 12/29 to 2/4. So this is actually for the month of January. And I do go behind and past, just in case I don't capture something. Every now and then Avon glitches and it doesn't print something that is supposed to be there. So when I go above and beyond, above and before, below, and whatever you want to, front and back, then it will capture it. And so you can see I have all these different things happening, my credit card payments and returns and all kinds of stuff. I always break down my orders by, this is sales tax, and this is my price. So this plus this equals that. Okay, so this is my balance column. All right, and so we're going from earliest to latest. So this is from the beginning of the month on. So I actually have a second page here, and I just scribble out what is from last month. Okay, so I'm just gonna real quickly, I made a checkout to a business where I'm having an event. So I made a copy of that. Then this is my campaign mailer receipt. This is where I get my books from. And this is a refund. And I once again break down the cost and the tax. And I went on and bought some stuff from, I think this was Amazon. And so there's certain things like I can't, like this is my dryer cleaner. I can't write that off. So I just scratch it. And I go ahead in and I take different things and I figure out, okay, this is price. No, this is shrink bags, heat shrink bags. So I'm getting ready to make some baskets and things. And so that came to $4.32 times 6% sales tax. That means there's 26 cents sales tax. That's what it is in my municipality. So depending on yours, you have to make that adjustment. So I have all of this stuff here ready to go. Here's this is Amazon. No, this is Temu. This is Amazon. And this is Amazon. So these are all receipts. And then I also had a refund that I wrote up because I was duped on something. Something didn't show up. And another check that I wrote out for an event that is considered advertising. So another check, so that's for another event. Okay, and so what I want to share with you guys is, if you are wanting to keep your expenses, I'm going to make sure that if you get a hold of me, I will gladly mail you this copy, and you can make a copy of it. You want to make 12 copies, one for each month. And then we also have this sheet, very important. This is your expense side. This is your revenue side. And so sometimes you have to put in, I messed this up. Sometimes you have to put in your own codes for things like shipping and handling. I always use code number 31 for that. And this CSF stands for Customer Service Fee. Why do I have that? Because you will pay $8 on a shipping fee for anybody that gets a $60 order on your website, and that will be taken out of your earnings. And there's enough earnings in there to take care of it, so it's not a big deal. All right, so, and those people will come back. And then I also make 2 other pages, which helps me. I make this little chart where I put the date. This is all January transactions. These are campaign numbers. And I think I've gone over, you may have seen this in another video, but any products that I have purchased, this is just the cost of them. And any demos that I have, and any sales tools like samples and bags, things go in this column. And if I buy brochures from Avon, then I put it in this column. But I stopped doing that because I buy them from Campaign Mailer, so I don't have anything there. So then I total everything up, and if I did have anything in these columns, I would add to them to equal to that. Now, those are expenses, but this is a chart I make that's just for income. Okay, so these are things that you can make for income. Like, there's all kinds of different ways you can make income with Avon. So this is ambassador service. That's if I go and I deliver somebody's order. This is direct delivery service. That's when a customer goes on my website and orders something to deliver directly to them, and I get a notification about it. Leadership bonuses. Well, if that's where you want to, make your money, you can sign people up and you can make money off of their sales. And if you have an event, obviously you want to put that in there. If you have different ways that you accept payment, you might have a record of that. It's easy on Square to keep track. And then we have AS True Up. That's when you have ambassador sales that are delivered, like you deliver those to people, and maybe you have more than one order going in, and you cross over into a new line of a new bracket of commission. So they will bounce all those previous sales up to your new commission bracket. And this is the same exact thing, except for it goes for direct delivery service, DD. And if there's any incentive programs, I like to put this down here because sometimes they throw in something and they, might put it on your 1099 and you're like, what the heck is that? Well, that's where it can go here. So then you total it up, and if you have a previous month, like say this is the month of February, then you would put January's totals across here, and you would add January's to February's total, which would be like here. Now, of course, any service fees collected, I like to put here. So most reps, they do charge a service fee of some kind. And this is like if I make money from a product and it's the total, like if something is $9.99 in the book, then the $9.99 would go right here in this spot. Okay, that's just cost without tax. This is where you would put the sales tax. And this plus this is going to go here. So that's A plus B plus C equals D. And we have one more column. It's a little more confusing, but it tells you a whole lot. Total without sales tax. So this would be A plus B. Leave this out. You can do just easily take these two and go right on over and put it there. Or you can go A plus B plus C and then minus C and put it there. That might confuse everybody. I should have probably put this is A plus B plus C equals D, and this is really A plus B. But I put D minus C, so sorry about that. Anyway, so this has been a really helpful way to account for things and double check my numbers. And so now I'm going to start putting things into these papers. I'm going to only be working with this one and this one. Sorry if I'm shaking the phone a little bit. I'm trying to do this with one hand. So I have my calculator here. The first thing I want to do is go to my statement. And I start with the first transaction in January. And now this says online store order earnings. Now this, I had paid off my whole balance at the end of December because I wanted to make sure that I captured everything for the year. So I ended up doing an online store order with somebody, and it brought my balance into a negative. So this is the amount that I made. Okay, so this was my balance, and I ended up going into the negative. And so I didn't really get that money in my hand because it just went against my next order. And so don't let that confuse you. But we're going to start for that reason with campaign 1. So we're just going to slash these two for now. On the 7th, I had my campaign 1 order, and the total is $133.27, which you will find that number in the column on your invoice on the line that says your price. Then I take the sales tax and I add it up, and this is what it should amount to. So you're not going to see this number on your invoice. You're going to see these two numbers. So you need to know what they are to understand why you were charged this. Because they will show you on the same day you were charged shipping and handling. And shipping and handling for me at that point was $10. Why? Because it was over a certain amount. Okay, so now I have a balance. I have a balance of $127.11. So how am I going to put this on my sheet? Okay, so campaign 1 order, I'm going to take $133.27 and I'm going to go onto this sheet, and on the left side where it says expenses for Avon, you're going to put the date, which is the 7th. You're going to put C1, and you're going to put the amount is $133.27. For the sales tax, it doesn't go on this side. It goes on this side. And the reason is because it is not for Avon expenses. Like, these are just product. This is your product and your sales tools and your demos, where this is things like, hey, I went and bought some staples or a pair of scissors, or sales tax or shipping and handling or customer service fees, things like that. So you can see that sales tax is over here, and that amount is $11.36. So right here, you can see there's an account number, and sales tax is number 11 account number. How do I know that? Because on this sheet, there is a column of things that are numbered by a code. And if you look here closely, you will see sales tax, number 11. Okay, so you're going to make sure that number 11 is in this account number column. Now, this next thing that we're looking at, I'm going to go back to the statement. On the 7th, we just did this one. Okay. Now we're going to this one. This is shipping and handling fee. We have a $10 fee. Okay, right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to come over here, and I already wrote S plus A, S and H. That is shipping and handling. So you can see that this is also on the 7th. And the amount was $10. We looked on there. Okay, now we need a code. So we once again go back to our other sheet and we look for shipping and handling. And it's down here. It is number 31. So we'll go back and we'll place number 31. Now I'm going to do this next transaction with you. And we'll go back up here. So we did this one, this one, this one, and this one. We actually scratched these two. This one, and now we're going to do customer shipping fee. This happened on the 9th, and we're going to follow it across, and it comes to $8. Okay? Don't pay any attention to this column, just these two columns. So the $8, we need to go back to this sheet, and we're going to put the date, which is the 9th, and we're going to say customer shipping fee, which I call CSF, and then we're going to put in the amount, which was $8. And once again, we need an account number. So we're going to flip it over, and we're looking at this. CSF is number 34. Now, in the future, if you want to use your own coding system, that's fine. If some of these things are not considered sales or taxable write-offs in your state, let your tax professional tell you that. But regardless, it is good to know these numbers. So I want to just show you quickly the different numbers that I will be talking about. And I would advise you, if you are going to be getting training from me, that you use these as well. And you may not be able to see them. You can try to pause and memorize them, write them down, do whatever it is that you have to do. But until you receive this paper, and I see that you're making an effort with your business, this is how you're going to know how to do that. Otherwise, I will make sure that you get this in the mail. But this is an excellent tool to have in order to know how you're doing in your business. There are other pieces of paper in the future that I will talk about. Things that will deal with, let's say, your gas mileage, or your rent, or your mortgage, your electric bill, your homeowner's insurance. A lot of different things will benefit you in your taxes and your income tax refund check if you have a side hustle. So Please don't neglect to do this part. Anyway, if you have any questions, throw them at me, and you know how to get a hold of me. If you would like, you can call me 724-541-0302, or you can message me on Facebook. Thank you. We'll see you next time.